Thanks for watching this video today. My name is Matt Heggelund. I'm the product manager for MPOWR Envision. This video today is going to be a review of what was included in our March release, which all customers received automatically the last week of March. The highlight of the March release are the new KPI types, which I talked briefly about in the February release video. I'm going to dive right in as I'm already logged in and already on my Envision dashboard. We're going to be using our Scoops plan today, which is a plan we created around a fictitious ice cream company for demonstration purposes. I'm going to click into Scoops and get to the strategy overview. From here, I'm going to go up top to the breadcrumb and click into Key Performance Indicators. Once I'm on the KPI dashboard screen, I'm going to click the plus sign to create a new KPI. I'm going to name this KPI Static. I can also assign an owner, add a description, and choose any tags at this step. I'm going to click Next, and on this second step, you're going to see the types of KPI across the top. The first KPI type is our traditional static measure. You would use this KPI when your quantitative target remains the same over time. Some examples of a static KPI are measure Net Promoter Score each quarter, where you want to target an average NPS of 7 every quarter. On-time shipping, where your target might be 95% every month. Product defects, where your target is to have less than 5% defects each month. For demonstration purposes, let's set one up to sell 100 units every month. As I go down the page here, you're going to see the first configuration option I have is unit of measure. What am I measuring? In this example, I'm selling units, which will be numeric. For update frequency, how often do I want to measure this? In this case, I want to do monthly. For update reminder, do I want to enter this on the first day of the month or the last day of the month? Since I'm not going to know how many units I sell until the end of the month, I'm going to choose last day of the month. For start period, ask yourself, when do I want to start measuring this? I'm going to leave that on April for now. For target period, when do I want to achieve this target or stop measuring this? I'm going to choose December 2020. For target value, I'm going to leave this as 100. For the threshold parameters, I can choose ascending, where I'm working my way up from 0 to 100, which I'm going to do in this case. Descending would be used if I was working down towards a number. And now we also have a between measure, where you can set your target to be between a range. This is used when deviating from your target on both an ascending and descending side will have a negative impact. Something else you will notice is the health threshold slider is now set by percentage. This will happen for all units of measure. You will set your percentage from target. 100% on this slider represents your target number. I'm going to publish and let's take a look at it in action. I've already entered in some data points to show you how the KPI will look over time. As I scroll down, you're going to notice some different charts. These different charts will be available only to enterprise level customers. But the default will be the line chart, which everyone will see. On this line chart, I can see my health performance each period I've entered in a data point and how it compares to my target value of 100. You will see the green vertical line for the target period of December. Let me click on the bar chart from here so you can see the actual values in a bar. When I hover over them, they will show you the detail. As an enterprise customer, you will also have the ability to choose which chart you want to be the default for this specific KPI. As I scroll down, I see the grid view, which we talked about in the February release. That's all for static. Now let's take a look at the new type of KPI called linear. I'm going to go back to my KPI dashboard and hit the plus sign. Same as with all types of KPIs, I can provide a name, assign an owner, enter description, and enter any category tags on step 1. On step 2, I would choose the linear type of KPI. This type of KPI is only available to professional and enterprise customers. The previous static KPI we covered is available to all subscription levels. A linear KPI is used when you want to work towards a target over time and track your progress along the way. Some examples of a linear type of KPI are tracking an annual sales target but wanting to measure the progress each quarter or month, growing social media followers from 1,000 to 3,000 over the year, but measuring it monthly. Adding 1,000 new customer accounts in 2020, measured on a quarterly basis. Let's use this one as our example. Same as with static, I'm going to choose what I am measuring when looking at unit of measure. For this purpose, I'm going to choose numeric. Update frequency is how often do I want to measure my progress. In this case, I want to track my progress on a quarterly basis. Update reminder, again, I'm going to ask myself, is this KPI leading or lagging? I'm going to choose lagging, or essentially last day of the period or quarter. You're going to choose your start period and target period. Again, the start period is when I want to start measuring, which I'm going to go back to Q1 of 2020, and I want to achieve my goal or stop measuring in Q4 2020. I can enter in a starting value. For my purposes, I'm going to start with 0 because I just want to add 1,000 new accounts. This time, ascending or descending is going to automatically be configured based on your start value and target value. If your start value is greater than your target value, the KPI will automatically be descending. In my case, I'm starting at 0 and working my way up to 1,000, so it has ascending selected. Something different to point out for linear is that I'm going to measure my health each quarter. And the system, since I need to go from 0 to 1,000 over the 4 quarters, is going to provide an average amount of new customer accounts I need to add each quarter to reach 1,000. In this example, it's going to take 1,000 divided over the 4 quarters and tell me I need to add 250 new accounts every quarter to reach my goal of 1,000. As I look at the overall target progress, this is where I should be based on my overall progress. On the projected health tolerance, it is going to display based on your health tolerance range set above, the percentages. So for Q2, my overall target is 500. If my actual progress is between 450 and 500, Envision is going to calculate the health of this KPI green. Anything between 350 and 499 would be yellow, and anything 349 and under would be red. What is really cool about this maybe that I don't expect to get 250 each quarter, but maybe in Q3 I expect to get 300 instead of 250. I can always override that either now or later when I enter in my actual data points. You will notice after typing in 300, the application will update your projected health in real time. Let's go ahead and publish this and take a look. As you can see on the top, I have no values entered and it's telling me an update is required. I'm going to scroll down and enter in a data point for Q1. I'm going to enter in 300 and enter my note. Now let's look at the charts. On the line chart, which is available to all subscription levels, you will now see a line for my target progress, where I should be based on my targets. For Q1, you will also see the green dot for my 300, which is above my target value of 250, so I'm in the green. The blue projected progress shows me where I project to be based on my average performance to date. So based on my 300 for Q1, if I average 300 for the rest of the year, I will end up with 1,200 new customer accounts. Any of these lines can be hidden from the chart by simply clicking their label in the chart key. I can quickly show or hide with a click. The mixed chart is available to enterprise customers, with the key added benefit of showing the period performance actual versus the target in the bars. Again, you can toggle the default chart if you want this to be your default. That's it for the linear type of KPI. Now let's move on to the final and third type of KPI, which is called stepped. I'm going to go back to my KPI dashboard and hit the plus sign to create a step KPI. On step 1, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to name it, assign an owner, enter a description, select any category tags. When I get to step 2, I'm going to choose the stepped option. A step KPI is similar to the static KPI, where I am measuring an actual versus a target for each period of measure, but it's only specific to that period of measure. The main difference between stepped and static is that with a stepped KPI, my target can be dynamic for each period of measure. So like the earlier example, where my target was always 100, with a stepped KPI, I can have a different target, let's say 100 for 1 month, 150 for another month. An example of a stepped KPI might be something like revenue measured on a monthly basis. Again, 1 month my target might be 1,000, whereas the month before my target was 700. This step KPI is good for anything that might be seasonal in nature or cyclical in nature, where some months or quarters might be busier or slower depending on external variables. Just as before, I am choosing what I am measuring. I'm going to choose how often I'm going to measure it with the update frequency. Update reminder is either going to be the first day of the period or the last day of the period, essentially a leading or lagging indicator. And then finally, when am I measuring? Again here, I'm going to set the health threshold by percentage, but you'll notice that I didn't set a target yet. If I look below, my target defaults are all 0. But like I said earlier, these can be dynamic for each period. So maybe my first target is 700, then it's 1,000, then it's 800, and then maybe 1,200. You will see as I'm entering these targets how the projected health on the right changes. But don't worry if you don't know these targets now or they change. You'll be able to change them later on when you're entering your actual values. Let's publish this and take a look. I've already entered in some data points to show you how this will look. The bar chart is going to be your default. Enterprise customers will have the ability to view a line chart or a mix chart and set a different default. Just as before, in the data point grid below, I can edit inline and change the actual and target as needed for each period. That's it for the March release. Thanks for watching. As we continually strive for improvement, we will record a video like this for each of our monthly releases and keep you up to date on the latest and greatest features Envision has to offer. Talk to you soon. Take care.